Hello and welcome to Suddenly Single, the new and hilarious dating podcast.
Where we're going to get our celeb mates to tell us about their dating disasters.
We're also going to have a few experts in the studio to tell us where you and I are going wrong.
Come on, and I don't think you've got enough makeup on.
I need the sun, I need inspiration. I just want to get.
Hello, I'm Tim Vincent. Welcome to Suddenly Single.
And I'm Siobhan Wykes, the Editor-in-Chief of Best Magazine.
We have some great guests coming up today. I'm particularly looking forward to, we have a relationship expert, not a dating expert, a relationship expert, Francine, who's going to tell us where we've been going wrong.
Well, she could be a time, couldn't she?
Yeah, she might be a long podcast.
We've also got my friend Ateh Jewel, who
I love her.
met on a cruise about a year ago.
And she's single.
She's single since she met me, so I don't know what that tells you, but Ateh's going to come in and she's going to be great fun.
And we have the Goldfish Bowl of Truth, where we will be asking each guest to take out a question and answering honestly. Ever had a one-night stand, Siobhan?
No.
Liar.
Ever told a lie?
Ever told a lie?
Just want to get out of here.
So, Ateh, you are a brand beauty ambassador.
Yes.
You are a producer.
Yes.
And you're a diversity advocate.
Yes.
Yes. And you are talking to us today on Suddenly Single because, like me and him, you are now suddenly single again.
Suddenly single, yes. I have been... Basically, I married my first boyfriend at 19. I met him first day of university. Yeah.
Wow.
So I've never been an adult single.
Did you just look at him and think that's the one at 19?
I am witchy as and I saw him.
Wow.
And I said, if that boy sits next to me, we're going to get married and have kids. And he went... And then it was like, boom, done.
Wow.
It's weird, isn't it?
That is amazing.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm very grateful. We were really good friends and he was a safe space. I had a very traumatic, weird childhood. So he was like a lovely, safe, warm, fuzzy place. But I was probably hiding and now I've exploded and I'm suddenly single.
And colourful.
And colourful.
I've only ever known you as colourful though.
I used to only wear black or grey and I was old grey lady and, it was... I would say before the pandemic, before Black Lives Matters, the world was a very different place where I just felt I had to keep my head down and not be too black, too this, too whatever, and just fit into the whole kind of magazine-y world. And then after the pandemic, all bets were off and I just was more myself.
Yeah, you went for it with an amazing beauty range.
Yes, so I've launched my beauty brand and doing TV and just being more myself. And ironically, the more sort of authentic myself
You
became.
Change.
Things change. It's interesting that, isn't it?
Funny that.
Funny that.
Successful. Well done.
Thank
That's
you.
what I'm going to
Yeah.
say.
There's always a price to pay sometimes, isn't there?
Is that a direct correlation then to how busy you became and more confident?
Yeah.
It affects your relationship.
I do
and that's not a good or a bad, it's just a fact.
Yes, of course.
I do think we've had this discussion before that. I think when you're an alpha female, or you're very successful, or you go for it, it can be quite intimidating to some people. And when you've been a certain type of person or in a certain box, and you outgrow, or you are in bloom, or you unravel, sometimes not everyone comes along for the ride. That sounds filthy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yes, I do. So now, and I'm not blaming myself in any way, but we did go on a cruise together, and you are now single.
Got off the boat and then were single.
It all went wrong. I don't know what to tell you all.
All went right, I would say.
Oh, okay. Okay, all went right. Are you dating? Have you been on any apps, or how do you meet anyone?
I was on Tinder for 20 minutes. It was 20 minutes. I had about 200 matches or whatever. So
Well, that's great though. That's a fit.
It was great
confidence
for the.
boosting.
It was a very good confidence booster. Thank. Not want to see your penis, but then it was just wild.
Are they sending you pictures?
Oh,
Is that what happened?
Is it
was
actually
just
what they say? You get the picture.
wild. It was just wild and nonsense. And just to clarify, the last time I was single, the internet was not invented.
Yeah.
So it was a completely different
Can I tell you,
landscape.
when I first split with my long-term partner, I met this guy, weirdly, on a holiday. He said, can I see you? He lived in the city. He sent me a picture of it.
It's just
For
not.
want of a better word. What did you? I blocked him. Why would you do that? I don't want to see that now.
Range. It's just like It made me feel my age. Let's just say that way. So I mean,
don't send those to ladies over 50.
it's like
Can we
what?
just tell you?
No,
No,
like,
thank you.
no, thank you. So
Well, you're younger than me, aren't you?
it was my birthday on Saturday, so I'm 40. Yeah,
Happy
thank
birthday.
you. 46.
46.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you-
Well,
so
and you
you-
don't want to see them either, so there we go.
No.
Well,
Words
maybe
to
you
the
do,
wise.
but not necessarily before you know
In a
what their
picture, no.
surname is.
Invite only.
Let's go back a bit here. Tinder, because that we were discussing this. Tinder, although is the hookup site or was known as the hookup site, is still a very popular dating site to
Yeah.
meet people to date, not just a hookup as
Yeah, so that was 20 minutes, but I've been on like Bumble and Raya and things like that.
You've been on Raya?
Yeah, nice little chit chats and things like that and drinks. It's been very sweet, just like getting,
What are your
getting the
search
sea legs
engines?
back. Getting the sea legs back.
Well. For what are your discipline of how old they are, what's the distance, all those type of things, roughly? Are you looking for the same age? You're looking for older guys, younger guys?
I mean, it's a learning curve, which I learnt very
Yeah.
quickly. Because
Yeah.
I just didn't, I was like, I'm liberal, I'm this and that, and da-da-da-da. And my friends were like, don't say liberal, it means something different in the dating scene. And I was like, oh, I just know my politics. But, and then, like, age ranges, I didn't even think about that. And I had all these 22-year-olds sliding into, which I'm like, I could have birthed you, could you please?
Slide into my DMs.
Do not slide into my DMs.
Yeah.
It's highly inappropriate. So it's just been very interesting experience. Just having a little look around, and you know, when I was growing up, you just went to a pub or a bar, you met someone, you just sort of had a
Yes.
drink, and you had a snog, and then you were going out, and that was it's a completely different landscape. So it's interesting.
I miss that, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's just different, isn't it?
Perhaps we should start a bar. For over 50s.
Come have a drink, have a cocktail,
We do not judge.
leave your phone behind the bar.
Yeah, yes.
So you've been finding your feet. Have you been on any dates?
Yeah, a couple of nice dates. Nice. It's been very pleasant and sweet.
Did it make you feel sick, the first date you went on?
A little bit, because it's just like, well, I had a friend who said, Ateh, why are you being all Miss LinkedIn? So I was like, hello, I went to Bristol University. So I was very LinkedIn. and then I'm like, you know what, it's just about chatting, and we can all chat. We're all chatting.
So when you say that, did you make them in the day then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
daytime.
Like tea.
Yeah.
Chat to them before you meet them.
Yeah, so like nice little chats, just like a nice, I can be very Bridgerton vibes. So like, you know, nice little chats and very polite and sweet. Yes, nothing.
I don't think you're going to be single for long unless you want to be.
Well, that's very kind.
No, but you're exuding the right confidence and the happiness and all the kind of things that people want to see. And you're also at the point where you're not that frightened that you're going, this is too much. You're actually out there, actually in the race, so you could win it.
Yeah, and you know, it's really interesting. What do I want at 46? I don't really. It's also it's changed, because growing up we had all that misogyny, all that nonsense. We went out with someone to marry them and have babies. I've got my kids. I've got my own money. I've got my own house. I've got my own stuff going on. So I just really want someone who's going to be really fun and lively and exciting and good company. Like, I want to be a racehorse racing with them and just having a good time, and not. So that's also changed, and having to get that kind of, is this my husband?
So you're not looking to settle down again, or would you be? It's early days, isn't it?
It's so early days, and
Yeah.
the ink isn't even dry, so I want to be respectful to my ex-husband, but I don't, it's just, I'm not the same person, and that is also really weird, going into the dating realm, not wanting to get married and have a baby, and like, lover vibes, I think.
Yeah. You're on it for different reasons.
Yeah.
So what are your parameters at the moment then?
Just someone who is kind and funny and grounded, and someone who'd be really proud of me, because I think it can be quite intimidating going out with someone who has their shit together, and I think a lot of men want you, well, this is a sweeping generalization, but in my experience, a lot of men want you to be the cheerleader, and I'm the quarterback. So, like, you know, exactly. So I'm not really. I will be a cheerleader, but please accept I'm also tossing the ball.
So would you consider then dating agencies which do a lot more homework on who you're meeting? Because it is a little bit swipe left, swipe right. You look reasonably okay.
Shall I tell you? Back in the day, I used to work for a dating agency.
No.
That was my. In university, it was my summer job, and it was I was basically Tinder. I was swipe right. Like, do you like Jeffrey? Because Jeffrey likes you. I was literally swipe right, swipe left.
So you were
So they're
working
the
out
same
who
thing.
was.
Yeah, so we would call. They would have like, I won't say who it was, but it was they'd arrange dinners and things
Yeah.
like that and parties, and then afterwards I'd call and say, do you like him? And the amount of married men on there was shocking. So that really scared me. So, but I don't know.
Do you think your wife would like it?
Yeah, no, well, sometimes the wives would pick up the phone going, "Who was it?" Yeah.
No.
So that really scared me.
Do you know, I think I tried that one. Was that the one where you would swap seats during every course?
Yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
and then they go, hello.
That was me!
Second from the left on pudding.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Bring that back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
It was a very
Because
good
at
idea.
least, and no one was allowed to ask you at the do. They
Yeah.
had to wait for you to go home, so
Yeah.
no one was worried about it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring that back.
It was quite sweet. It was
Yeah.
quite, and like
And
networking.
very
dinners.
nice venues
Like
they
a,
held them in.
like a
Very
supper,
nice.
like a supper club or something.
Yes,
Why
yeah.
not?
Yeah.
I'm very
Supper club.
open.
Have you had any friends try and set you up with friends?
No, everyone's married. You get to an age where everyone's sort of coupled up, so that's really hard. I'm like, please do. Like, no, not yet.
Any tips from any friends? Not be LinkedIn, be a bit more relaxed.
Get your boobs out. Stop being so
See you in
LinkedIn.
Costa, lunchtime.
Stop being so LinkedIn and professional. I had a few people slide into my DMs, some businessy people saying, yes, I've had my eye on you for quite some time, blah, 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 blah.
great.
I was like, oh, that's great. Can I send you my proposal? I'm looking for angel investors, because I thought... I thought it was business idea. So I've had a few people go, wake up, Ateh. I think they were asking you out. So, yeah. People saying, be open and just don't assume everyone's a business contact.
Any of them that you want to go back to?
I think I missed
The boat.
I think I missed the boat when I sent my PDF to them, but yeah.
So, would you date someone younger? Because I
Yes.
have to be honest, I'm coming round to this idea.
Well, also, you're not looking for children. See, if I was going to date a younger girl,
Yeah.
there's a possibility that they still want to have children.
But
And I
you'd
don't
like
want
that though, wouldn't you?
No. I don't really want to.
We're twin parents. Shop is closed.
I always say for my age group, with 15 years, which I
Yeah.
don't think is unrealistic or is reasonable, that takes me into somebody that's in their 30s that want to have kids for the first time, to somebody that's going on a saga
Yeah.
holiday. You know,
There's nothing
so-
wrong with a good old cruise.
Love a cruise.
Well, you two know about cruising.
We do.
But you should do a
Well,
spin-off show, the two of you cruising for seamen.
Oh, I think this is going out after.
To be fair, I'd be in. I'd go around the Med with you, babe.
I only went around the Isle of Wight on a cruise with you. That was enough. I nearly died. It was only 2 days.
I'm quite good on a ship.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, nobody can get away.
Thank you.
So you've had a couple of dates. You're open to any age. What about not any age? So basically, your parameters are 0 to 100. No wonder you had 50 people straight away.
Exactly.
But that is a good sign, though, that when you were on, that many people at least immediately find you attractive to
It
look
was
at.
really
and
good
Did
ego.
you do a long blog?
It was a very. I was like, I thought I am super nerdy. So I can either talk geopolitics, Jane Austen, or RuPaul's Drag Race. It's very specific. And so I was,
So why did you cut it off after 20 minutes? It was just...
the Tinder was just a bit. It was just a bit. I think it was a bit hookup-y.
Right.
Too many pictures.
Yeah.
In a very short amount of time. I mean, outside of someone being young enough to be your child, what's a red flag?
If I could birth you legally, then probably not. So that is 16 plus. What is the red flag? Someone who is very small-minded, closed-minded. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like prejudice. I don't like people who are like,
Yeah.
really conservative or kind of right-wingy. Like, God bless you, but not my party. So people who are very accepting and open of others and just live and let live. If you're not like that, then I'm not going to party with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone who's super conservative and like, a bit like Trumpy.
What about your witchery senses that you've got? Have you had good senses when you met with these guys so far?
Yeah, I mean,
Because you could be on a tube now and you're looking at people a different way than
Yeah.
you would have done when you were married.
yeah, and it's really, and I think people are looking at me in a different way, and it's just a bit weird. It's just a bit different. and I'm open. I'm really open. I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting attention in a way I didn't have. I was always hiding, and I was always really frightened to be who I am. Because when I was younger, I was like super hot and snatched, and I was like, and it was, you know, I said on my Instagram, it was like being tossed the keys of a Ferrari, and I didn't know how to drive, and it was just like, whoa. And so I kind of hid a lot, and I feel I'm getting back to that person, but now I'm 46, I can drive the car, and it's quite exciting.
Oh, another thing I want to talk to you about. So I've dressed specially today because I love you and I love how colourful you are, and I knew it was you would be looking fabulous.
Thank you.
So how important is that to you? Because I would say for me personally, in my last long-term relationship, I weighed about 4 stone more. Lucky if you saw me in a pair of jeans, often a pair of tracksuit bottoms. Weirdly, because I was happy.
Yeah.
I didn't make any effort. I didn't actually realise until we split up that I'd stopped making an effort. Classic female mistake. It wasn't even half the time going out and he'd say, will you come with? No.
I think it's very easy for especially women to lose themselves in their relationship.
Yeah.
I know that happened to me. I gained like 11 stone. I doubled.
11
Wow.
I
stone
doubled.
in your
I was
relationship.
very sort of stressed out, and I was workaholic, and you know I would do 18-hour days, and I went back to work 2 weeks after I had my twins. I was like,
I went 3 weeks after having done it.
yeah, and like I remember double breastfeeding, writing copy about Kim Kardashian, and it was just a lot, and it was stressful, and I think that wasn't very loving and self-loving for me, and now I realise what the difference is. So kind of being 100 miles an hour, not taking care of myself, sort of being a sugar addict. I gave myself type 2 diabetes, like it was just my go-go juice, and instead of sort of being happy and healed and centred and and also we were not taught to put ourselves first as women. Like to be a good mother, daughter, wife, friend, sister, you put yourself at the bottom of the list. That was the conditioning I had, and my body suffered, I suffered. And what's been so lovely, one of my followers said, "Oh, Ateh, it's lovely to see your self-romance era." And I thought that was lovely.
That's so lovely.
So when did the 11 stone weight loss start then? Because that
It was like, it was like a slow, like after university, started piling on. Then in my 20s, when you work really hard, it piles on. And then it was just a slow...
But did you have a decision to start to lose it again? Because
Yeah, when I gave myself type 2 diabetes, it was like, whoop, 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 whoop. It was like the shotgun, poof, you know. Next time it might be a heart attack, it might be a stroke. So, and I'm very all or nothing, so I lost 4 stone in 4 months.
Wow.
Boom, and then it came back on, and then it was a pandemic, and then the pandemic, I really woke up. It was a scary time. The whole world, I thought we were in a Netflix film that we're going to all die, and I just thought, if I'm going to go out, I have to be at least myself for a little bit. And that's when I just didn't care anymore, and I went walking, and 1 to 2 hours, 1 hour at a time, as per the restrictions, and I just was like exercising, and I just poured myself into my work, and I just expressed myself, and I started doing Instagram. I never did an Instagram live before pandemic, because I just thought, oh, who wants to hear from me?
Right.
Who wants to see me? And so I just started my Wednesday chat club, and then I was asked to go on This Morning, and then I was asked to do TV, and then I went on Glow Up, and I just exploded, and and when you are satisfied, you don't get satisfaction. You don't need it from sugar, booze, drugs, sex, whatever you're into. So it's always a lack of.
So I would say since we met, which is about a year ago, you've lost a lot.
Yeah, I've lost more. So I went to, I can never say it, forgive me, Bukana Wilhelmi, which is a retreat in Germany, a fasting retreat.
Oh no! Wow.
And I went there for 10 days. Again, because I was getting divorced, I was like, all the things that have been offered.
Care for you.
I just, why would I take 10 days out of my life? But, once I'm getting this, now I'm suddenly single, you've got the kids, I'm off. So I went. And I lost a stone in 10 days.
Wow.
All my numbers.
It's a good catalyst as well, then.
It was a good catalyst. All my numbers started falling, my blood pressure, my sugar, and I felt really good. It was like a spiritual retreat. And they were like, you were too young to be this diabetic, sort yourself out. And so I came back, I got on Ozempic. They had offered it to me for years. I'm supposed to be the perfect candidate diabetic, overweight.
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to think I was Real Housewives of the Cotswolds. I was just like, I love Real Housewives. Can I just say I'm obsessed? But I didn't want them to think it was because of that. But who cares? Anyway, so I took it, and that's been really helping. Again, I've lost like 3 stone.
Wow.
I've almost reversed my diabetes.
Well,
it is about
congratulations.
taking control, and you should do anything you want, but in a very loving, safe way. So yeah,
Actually, self-care is a positive of being single.
so
Because
much so.
you have so much more me time. You're not worrying about, well, like, we have to go out Saturday night because I haven't been out 3 nights this week with you already, kind of behaviour.
It's
That
about-
is a positive.
It is. It's quite shocking how, now that I'm suddenly single, how much I put myself on the back foot. Like I had dental surgery the other week. I just put it off. Like all these things that you should be, like medical self-care is the ultimate self-love.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I always push to the side because I don't have time for it. Because I was doing something for others.
So what about Raya? Because you mentioned that's one of the dating apps you've been on. That's the celebrity one.
Yeah.
So no celebs that came across or anybody in there that you thought...
So many celebs that came across. It was hilarious. It was like reading Hello magazine or something.
Really? Really?
My friend is on it as well, and she said it's just painful. It's like dangling delicious fruit.
Low hanging.
And they don't swipe back all the celebrities, but I don't know. It's just, I think for me, just to be on that is just mentally to say, I am back.
You're back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Do you know one other thing about you for me? Because I haven't known you that long. I always go, you know the one with the great headwear?
Yes.
So is that part of your coming back and being brighter, etc., or is there a
Yeah.
particular reason? Because I've never met you, up with you, since, or seen a picture of you where you don't have, you're not wearing
I
something
call it my
amazing.
crown because
Your
I have
crown.
anointed myself. Queen High Priestess energy. And a lovely lady called Emily from Rosings London makes them for me. We started chatting during the pandemic. And, you know, I hated my hair for years. Like, I only chemically straightened my hair until I was 37. And I stopped because my girls, they were about 3 or 4, and they said to me, and my girls are mixed and they've got different curl patterns, and they said, Mummy, it's so sad, we can't be princesses because we don't have straight yellow hair. We can only be maids because we've got brown curly hair. And I went, oh,
That's enough now.
not on my watch. And it was just so sad. At 3, 4, they had that messaging that
Yeah.
I was like, how am I'm part of that. So I stopped chemically relaxing my hair. I leaned into my 4-seat coils, and it's about, again, another form of self-love and just accepting yourself, and so, like, put a crown on it. And, you know, just when you have curly hair, when you're black, everyone growing up on TV or movies was either a prostitute, a slave, or someone very economically, socially depressed. Like, what is a 17th century African warrior queen? I never grew up watching that. What, you know, like Harriet Tubman, who is an amazing historical figure. Only now the movies are being made about her. Like, I love history. I studied history, and there's all these amazing people in history that we were just never taught about. And my girls at school were talking about World War One, and I was like, oh, tell me about, you know, what are you studying, blah, 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 blah. And they said, oh, we were talking about empire and how everyone around the empire contributed to the war effort. And I burst into tears because that's something I have been campaigning about, because I'm Nigerian, Trinidadian, and very proud to be British. And every part of my heritage contributed to both world wars, but I was never taught that at school. And now my children who are 12 are being taught that. It's such a different landscape. So that self-love and that acceptance and that pride will ooze out of them, and they won't have all the trauma and different things that I had. And that, how you love yourself, how you love others, it all translates, I think.
I was going to say, with they're teenagers now.
They will be teenagers in June.
Soon.
Yes.
And you said mum's starting to date yet, or have you just kept that off the table until you meet somebody that's important enough to mention?
They were like on my phone and saw something. And they were like, I was like, and they were my girls were very sweet. They were like, go on, mum. And they were so very, very sweet. And I think with daughters, they can be very supportive, and I can see them sliding into girlfriend territory. I'm always going to be their mum. I'm not their friend, but they are being very, very sweet and supportive.
And they probably see such a difference in you over the last 12 months as well, but being positive and fun and there and present and doing all that kind of stuff.
One of my daughters said something that made me burst into tears. It was Mother's Day recently, and she said, "Mum, this is the first Mother's Day I've ever seen you really happy." They're 12. And I said, what are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous. And she went, no. And she went on her phone and she started scrolling all the videos from my past birthdays and things like that. She goes, this is the first time I've seen you happy. And and that really was shocking because I thought I was happy, but I wasn't, obviously.
But that's good because they're clearly going to deal with, because we do live in a different world where we don't feel that we have to stay in a relationship forever if it's not working, and you don't expect someone who's not in love with you because society says you should be married.
Yeah.
So that's great that they already feel like that.
I do feel a huge responsibility to live a good, authentic, healthy life so they can have a good example. So that was quite shocking and also very validating why I should be single right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Should we do our...
Shall we get in an expert?
Oh, an expert's next.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here.
We have a VIP that's joined us now. Francine Kay, well published and respected, the divorce doctor, but also you're a relationship counsellor. Is that fair to say?
I would still call myself more of a coach.
A coach.
Yes, because
Right.
I'm not one of those sort of dangly earrings. So how are you feeling?
Right. Okay.
I'm not really
practical
Yes.
things. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So, how would you apply your logic and wisdom to somebody like Siobhan and I that have been single for years? What are we doing wrong not to keep a relationship going?
Well, I'd want to know the patterns that you see in your relationships. So when you go into a relationship and it ends, I'm always interested in the endings. So the endings are really interesting. So what was the challenge that brought it to an end?
Cheated on both times.
To get cheated on, and I've also got cheated on, my ex-husband had a 4-year affair.
Oh God. So that's
We know that there are cues and clues. It's very rare that there wouldn't be a cue and a clue. So could you honestly say in the last one where he cheated that there was absolutely no idea? You didn't have a red flag, an amber flag, a yellow flag, nothing?
There was no looking for it because afterwards, I mean, I was extremely shocked at the length of time and etc. But if I'm honest now, of course there were loads of red flags. I just didn't look at them.
That's right.
Didn't see them. Didn't take them in.
And the question is, what stops us from doing that? So what keeps us there when there's little red flags and there's cues and clues? What stops us?
Don't want to see it.
Don't want to see it. Don't want to see it.
No. Very happy in Sippy world.
Yeah. So we pull the wool over our own eyes. You know, we settle for crumbs instead of a meal. And that's what we do. So the whole idea is that we learned from that about ourselves. What about us is that needy that we would want to accept behaviour that's really unacceptable? What's going on?
it's like Wimbledon.
In the spirit of why we're doing this, I'm actually going to answer that question.
I'll answer it too so you're not alone.
Good.
I won't leave you hanging, girl.
Oh, thank
I won't
you.
leave you hanging.
Yeah, there we go. Girl power. She's going to do it too.
I'll do it too.
I think if I'm 100% honest, there's something in me that goes back to what we were talking about before in self-worth and all that and women. I never want anybody who wants to be with me. I always want people that don't want to be with me.
Yay.
And I know what that says about me, really. But if somebody is super kind and super keen, and I'm like,
They're too nice. And they get boring.
but
then.
the thing is, you know, and then there's another one who's dancing around, can't make his mind up or what have you, flirty, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, definitely.
Because if I can crack it with him, then anything that I've experienced in the past where I didn't get my needs met, see, I've cracked it and they were the wrong ones. And this is the whole reason for relationship. Relationship is not about 2.4 children or roses round the door. Relationship is about completing childhood.
Oh, it's so true. I've got a daddy wound. So I'm like, I'll make you love me.
There you go.
I'll be
right?
worth something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we've got,
You have to know your own values. So if you've got a list of about 5 things that are non-negotiable, then when you go out on the date, you come back. I mean, I have a relationship evaluator, and you come back after the date and you evaluate.
Or you write down. You evaluate them. Yeah. How do you do that?
Well, I've just got a few columns, and it would be something like, were you physically attracted?
oh yeah,
right.
that's
Scale
the
from
big
1 to
one.
10.
That's the big
Yeah.
one.
I mean, the challenge with physical attraction, I don't know if you're finding this, compatibility and all of that is wonderful, but if you don't fancy someone,
It's
Yeah.
pointless.
it's really challenging.
Sorry, go
I
on.
was gonna say, I have a weird
Yeah.
story. When I was 20, I was in a cafe and the most beautiful man walked in. Like men, women, dogs, everyone was looking at this man. He was just beautiful. And everyone was dribbling, and he sat down and he was really weird and shifty, and I thought, is that man on drugs or something? And then he leaned forward and he had a dead pigeon
Oh.
under his jacket, and literally
Francie.
as soon as I saw that dead pigeon, he went, "Whoa!" He looked so weird and gross. And I
'Cause
said,
he was.
And I said, this is a life lesson. Just because he's hot doesn't mean he's not a weirdo.
This book, The Divorce Doctor, you say about work on yourself to work out what healing that you need to do yourself so that you're attracting the right person. Does that mean that if you've done that, somebody in the past could be the right person for you and that you've split up?
Yes, it might very well have been like you were saying, Siobhan. The nice guys, you know, there's been a few really nice ones.
Yeah, no. I've honestly, well, it doesn't matter now. We're all much older, but I mean, I've been asked to get married about 8 times. Yeah, no, and one in particular, because he was so nice.
Yes.
I mean, what is wrong with that?
Because that sounds like it's so boring.
Well, it doesn't fulfil the need.
Yeah.
So the need
But
of
why
the
is
child
my
on the
need
inside.
danger?
Well, because it's a part of you that hasn't properly been healed yet. It's a part of you that turns around and says, unless we've got a hard nut to crack, unless we can really prove that we're lovable,
Oh yes.
then
I relate to that.
You do relate to
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
only then that will be the right one. And so you keep on finding these people who you have to keep on proving it to in all different ways to heal that part. First date, you're going to see the best. That person's going to
Yeah.
show you the best of them. See them during the day. Always have the first date during the day.
See, I always have it at night.
No,
That's
no.
mistake
Dinner.
number one.
No,
Why?
don't
Why
go-
in the day?
Because you want to see somebody in
daylight.
daylight, and you want to see. You literally do, and you want to be in a normal
Like this.
environment.
You're right, yeah.
Normal. Go and have
Yeah.
a cup of coffee. Don't
Yeah.
dress up. You know, do not dress up. Just go as you normally are.
Yeah.
You know, right? Don't have to go in your pajamas, but go
Yeah.
as you go
This
as you
is
are.
who I am,
This
day
is
to
who I
day.
am.
Don't you want to
Let's
make
have
an
a cup of
effort and
coffee.
impress them on the...
No, you don't want to do impressing. You want to turn up as who you are, the best version of you.
This is when you're going to get.
And, you know, this is who I am. I'm coming to have a coffee. I only like it with oat milk, and you know, deal with it. And so then,
Don't
if
bring a
it-
dead pigeon.
You should put that on your bio. No doubt.
No, dead pigeons. Oh, definitely you should.
Hilarious, yeah. What? Come
That's a
out.
great date story.
Just asking for a friend.
Yes, for a friend.
When, like, because all the rules are different. When do you have sex? Like, is it like, you know, 3, 4? Like, what? Like,
Yes.
what's all that about?
So second date,
Yeah.
you might do something that's a longer date where you might go out for the day together and do something, actually do an activity. Third date, you can go to the restaurant. So we can get a little bit more evening-y.
Yeah.
Anywhere between date 3 and date 5, I think it's okay to sleep with the person. And the reason being, because if at that point you quite like them and then sexually you're not compatible, you really need to know.
Can
But-
you work on... If it's not whiz bang fireworks the first time you have sex, is it worth revisiting?
Probably, if that's up to you. I mean, if you think it, you think there's more mileage in it. Yeah, go for it again. But I mean,
She's a lovely person. We'll have to practice.
Why not?
it's got potential. Got potential. But really, I mean, and then everybody chooses. Some people would never sleep with somebody by date 3. They'd wait for date 15 or, you know, but I would never ever suggest first or second date.
No. You'd be surprised at how many people would be though. It's
I'll tell you
like,
something
do you
that's-
want to have coffee or do you want to go and have sex?
Yeah.
Now we have the Goldfish bowl of truth.
yeah.
Just wanna get out of here. Woke up feeling good.
Ladies, this is the Goldfish Ball of Truth. There's some random questions written in there. Who is your celebrity crush? Now, this is to all of us. Back in the day, it would have been Naomi Campbell for me. Definitely. Yeah. And anybody that's a derivative of that going forward, I would have thought. How about you? I'd see you as a George Clooney.
No. Back in
really?
the day, it was a Charlie Sheen.
Oh, bad
You
boy.
like a bad boy.
Oh my goodness.
But he's also very funny, isn't he?
I think
cheeky.
he's good looking, he's funny, he's
Danger.
unobtainable, which we know is my type.
Let me choose you.
Charlie. Yeah.
Who was yours?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him. He's
Carrie
a good
Elves.
person.
Oh, wow. Oh, very romantic.
Yeah.
He's still around, isn't he? Because
Yeah, he's very-
What was
yeah.
the film that he did that was big film? The Princess
The
Bride?
Princess Bride, Lady Jane Grey is what I fancied him in, and also he did a recent A Castle for Christmas on Netflix. Which
I
is-
saw it. That's why I know he's
I was
still
like,
around.
I still would.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Well,
very handsome.
put that out there now.
Oh my goodness! I went from David Cassidy. Oh, you
Oh,
know,
yes.
yeah, he did. Yeah, I went from David Cassidy to Ray Winstone. Bit of a jump.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Bit
see
of a
that.
jump.
I see
And
that.
then the most recent one was the one who said, "I burn for you." On
Yes.
Can I ask Francine one more question? Does it mean I've matured if I've gone from Charlie Sheen to Keanu Reeves?
No. I can answer that one. Somebody that you've never met
No, still
that lives in Hollywood,
Yeah.
that's married and unattainable means no.
Yeah.
And on that
Yeah.
bombshell, join us next time on Suddenly Single.
Just wanna give. Just wanna get out of here.
So next week, Loose Women's Linda Robson on life after a 33-year marriage and why she prefers a nice cup of tea to sex.